Every tennis player is unique. So if you look for performance and developing your potential, it's very important that you personalize your training. The training is done for you and for you only. In this video, I'm gonna share 4 ways that I use to personalize my training, to adjust the way I coach, and so you can do it too. The first way is typical personal development questions, life coaching questions, which are: what is your goal? Simple. What could stop you to achieve them? This question will show your limiting beliefs. What do you dream about? Similar with goals. What are your strengths? Where do you see yourself being different? And last and not the least, what are your fears? What are you afraid of? This will show already a lot about your willpower, a lot about how much you believe in yourself, your confidence or not, what you think is important, and much more. So this gives a rough idea of your personality. The second assessment is called the 4 Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin. I love it. It's so useful as a coach, and basically, as the title indicates, you have 4 personality traits. These are the ways you respond to expectations. Expectations from someone else or expectations from yourself. So you have the upholder, that no matter what, whether it's someone who asks them to do something or they tell themselves, I'm gonna do this, they're gonna do it. It's a done deal. The second one is the questioner. The questioner will question and they will respond to only their own expectations. They will not respond to pressure from society or a social group. They will need to question until they reach a point where, okay, this is something that makes sense for me. This is something that I want to do. The third one is obliger. Obliger is the opposite of questioner. They will only respond to expectation from someone else. So they are very good with mentors and coaches and teachers and parents. When they tell him or her what to do, and they do it. On the other hand, they are not so good in theory to follow their own expectation. Important to know. And last and not the least, the rebel. The rebel is a person that doesn't follow his own or outer expectations, which makes it very tricky to navigate. And believe me, I know a bit about this. So, when you know which tendency you are, as a coach, you will know whether you need to tell this person, okay, this is better, you do this and that and this and that, like an obliger would benefit from, or you will need to explain and take time to explain the rationale and why we do this and that to a questioner. And if you have an upholder, easy. As a coach, I think it's fairly easy. And last, about the rebels, it's very important to let them realize they are free, and then telling them that if you do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, or if you do that, this will happen. That the consequences of their choices. And if you are a rebel yourself, this is also a good question to ask yourself, to motivate yourself to do something. The pain of not doing something that you want is, in this case, very useful. Okay, so that's the second way to assess someone and to adapt the way you coach with this person. Okay, a third way to assess someone's personality is with Christian Thibodeau's neurotyping, which I believe is very useful for athletes. I give you an example to illustrate. I have been coaching someone who I believe is totally the definition of the 1B. 1B is explosive types of person, meaning that very high power, and in normal time when there is no pressure, very chilled. This person, they thrive on short, intense training. They are good in frequency, so training every day is very good. And on the other hand, they are not so good with high volume. So we choose when we do high volume, and yeah, it has been shown to be very true. On the other hand, I train someone else that I believe is 2A, and with this person, it's the opposite. He needs to have long sessions, and that's where he thrives, and he's better and better as he sweat, and it's long, and it's high volume. Another difference with their personalities is the 1B, you can punch him sometimes is useful, not physically, but being straightforward and tell him how it is. He will take it, all good. If you do the same with the 2A, then he will crumble. He will feel very disheartened by your critiques. He will take it as a critique. So that's also very useful. Finally, the fourth way that I use to assess someone's personality is with action types, with the motor preferences. This is more complicated for you to assess because you need someone, an expert, to see how your body moves, knowing that your movements are linked to your personality. And yeah, I cannot say much more than this, except that as you know how you move, then you will be able to adapt the training accordingly. Some people, they will need to fire certain muscles in certain ways more than others, would be the opposite. So knowing this is very useful, and this also is linked with the personality and how you talk to them. Voila, you got 4 ways to assess your personality, maybe 3 ways plus if you find someone who can test you, your motor preferences. But in any case, whether you ask yourself or ask the player questions, whether you find the 4 tendencies, which one is most likely yours, whether you find the neurotype, what's most important is you tell yourself that every person is unique. And as a coach, it's very important you personalize your training so that the player would feel much better and perform much better. All right, enjoy.